comfortable. This is much better. Thank you. Let's have a hand for the audience. There you go. Thank you, guys. Well, welcome to the Stand-Up 101 Showcase. For those of you who don't know me, I am Johne, and I've had the pleasure of working with these guys for the last 8 weeks, and they are a wonderful, wonderful, fun crew. They'll be doing 4 minutes of comedy for you, and you will be laughing. I can guarantee it. I forgot my hat. I usually wear like a baseball hat. I feel bald without it. So, and you know, the other day, I looked in the mirror, and you know, there's this like whole thing, right, about being, you know, women say, oh, I've got a resting bitch face. You know, with my baldness, I have like a resting surprised face. And it's like, and I'm finally getting old enough that I can legitimately open up my window and yell out the window, hey, you kids, get off my property. Except I don't have any property. And I'm finding myself saying things like, I remember when, you know, like I remember when a coffee order would take 15 seconds. Remember those days? You just order a coffee, 15 seconds. I remember too, when you had beer, there was like 2 types of beer, right? There was like your beer and imported beer for you fancy types. Now there's like beer, imported beer, and craft beer, right? You know what craft beer is, folks?
No.
It's beer.
Beer.
That's what it is. It's beer,
Just
right?
beer.
Like I'm not going to be drinking craft beer and going, this tastes a little bit like macrame with side notes of scrapbooking. That's not what I'm going to be doing, you know. I'm a German Catholic of Jewish descent, which makes me a self-oppressor. In fact, my parents were so German, they went and saw Schindler's List, came back, denied they ever saw it. So that's how German my parents were. And when I grew up, they had the audacity to dress me up in ethnic clothing, which for me was a pair of lederhosen. True story, which they might as well have painted like a swastika on my belly, you know. So when we were playing recess, you know, one group of kids would be, we'd play war, one group of kids were the Americans, one group of kids were the British. I was the Nazi. We'd play cowboys and Indians, there'd be cowboys, Indians, I was the Nazi. And even like gym, I always got picked last at gym, you know. Baseball, there was like an infield and an outfield. I was the Nazi, so we'll figure that out. All right, should we start this thing, guys?
Yeah.
Performer, as I find my running order here, ladies and gentlemen, Doug Winship, everybody.
Thank you so much for coming out, everybody. So Nick was talking about coffee. I love coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I like the variety you get with coffee these days. There used to be old jokes when you'd order a coffee. I like my coffee like my women. Strong, hot, black, not bitter. You could awkwardly glance at whoever you're with. Now you can get so much more specific. Ecuadorian, Colombian, Brazilian, organic and blonde. My favorite is now the Oprah chai. Yeah, you go to Starbucks, I like to order the 12-ounce skim milk Oprah chai tea latte with a shot of espresso. But what I like about ordering it is using the Starbucks lingo, because when you combine all the Starbucks terms for that drink, what you order is a tall, skinny, dirty Oprah. And that's something that sounds like it should be some kind of weird sex act you don't want to look up. But you order it at Starbucks and you get a nice, wholesome hot beverage. I spend a lot of time at Starbucks. I like to read there. I like to read on my Kindle. It's my favorite technology is the Kindle. It kind of, I like that it makes books cheaper, it makes it more convenient, but it also makes me feel guilty because I have a friend who owns a used bookstore. It's called Bookies in Beverly. Any Bookies fans?
Yes.
One, so business is booming. Business is booming, you can see. So whenever I see him and I'm reading the Kindle, it's kind of like, yeah, this is the thing that is killing your business. And I try to think of terms to make used books sound sexier to him, or at least, you know, cooler. Maybe you can call them antiques. at this point. You could call them vintage, like clothes. Maybe when someone asks for a title, you could say, would you like that new, or would you like a copy that, for your convenience, has been pre-read? I've got a copy of a Dostoevsky novel. I've tried to read it 3 times. I've started 3 times and given up. Ironically, the book is called The Idiot. But I'd like, with that sitting on my coffee table, much better to be able to tell people, this is something I'm actually thinking about rereading. So, technology that I don't get into as much is the smartphones. My smartphone is not actually quite a smartphone. It's not an iPhone, it's not a Samsung. I just go with whatever they give me for free with the plan. And there's always a moment when it gives itself away as not a smartphone, when I get a text message. Because when I respond, I have to do this. Open it up like that. That is the moment when people think, although this phone might not be special needs, it at least needs some summer school. So conspiracy theories are something I've been looking into, I think like anybody with an internet connection. I don't know how conspiracy theories survive with Google. Things like we never went to the moon. You know, you look that up, and it takes about 10 minutes of looking at the first source to think, yeah, we did go to the moon. One I heard of recently is that apparently, so I've been told, the CIA is trading Viagra for secrets from Afghani warlords. I googled that, turns out that one is actually true. The first source that came up was BBC. Yeah. So to me, I was shocked, but then I thought, that is actually an amazing accomplishment. That is close to getting a peace-love movement from the 60s together with the military-industrial complex as possible. I mean, you can have waterboardings or you can give someone a boner. I mean, for every out-of-the-box idea like that works, it's such a risk. There's one that doesn't. I get mail from charities all the time, and they all have to stand out in some way. You know, they use a lot of stories, they use pictures. A lot of them send you change, and they say, for this much a day, you could save a life or help a child. So I opened up my mail recently, got a package from UNICEF. And this was what I pulled out. This is the child's underwear for you in the back. Which raises the question, at what point does a letter from a charity become a ransom note?
But it always gets blamed on me. Because one year I broke one. We were opening presents, and it got to like, you know that present that like everyone's waiting to see because everyone knows that what that person's gonna get and they're excited? So the whole room was like silent as my little cousin was opening her present, and I'm in a rocking chair with all these presents and my martini, and it just breaks. Everyone's like videoing her open it, and it breaks, and everyone's like, and all you hear is my mother, and she goes, "Oh, Sarah, don't you think you've had enough?" And I'm just like defying, because what else can you do when you're drunk and everyone looks at you on Christmas? Thanksgiving is really fun in my family. I don't know why Thanksgiving's more fun than Christmas. There's no gifts, but there are like 20 pies. So everyone gets their own pie. My aunt just hands me a pie and a fork because she knows I'm no lady. And I usually start going into it before everyone even gets there. And I'm usually, you know, a little drunk. Last Thanksgiving is a blur because for some reason it was a 2-day ordeal. Like some people couldn't come, so there was like a real Thanksgiving and a fake Thanksgiving. So we just started calling Thanksgiving fake Thanksgiving. And my cousin and I just drank for days. And by the time real Thanksgiving rolled around, I just remember like dancing to Taylor Swift and eating a lot of potatoes and being sick. We all stayed at my cousin's house that night, and most of us stayed up really late. The cousins were like, you know, smoking in the other room. My mom was asleep in my cousin's room and did not realize that just 2 feet from her head was his 3-foot pot plant in like a little locker with Christmas lights. Somehow she slept in that room without noticing the smell. Earlier my friend Kelsey was like, well, how do you know she just didn't say anything? And I'm like, no. My mom would have come out of the bedroom and been like, oh my God, it smells like pot. What are you doing? Didn't hear a peep, so I guess she didn't notice. These are holidays in my family, everyone. Thank you very much.
I'll show you later. So let me tell you a bit about myself. I'm a very private person. That's it. I have a step ladder. My real ladder left home when I was 3. Thank you. Yes, that is indeed scrambled. So, I found that I'm bad at Christmas gifts. See, because this previous Christmas, I gave my mom a dead gazelle, and she didn't like that at all. Mainly because I got it for her last year. So, I live in a bad neighborhood. I recently heard a gunshot outside my house, and then I saw 2 guys run past through the window, and it turns out they were just having the 100-meter dash. But there's been a lot of people worried about kidnapping. Recently, a poll was taken, so if you find Mrs. Rubinski, would you please notify the police immediately? So, the police brought me in for questioning. They wanted to give me a lie detector test. They were trying to see if I was lying. The test later determined that I was standing up. But whenever I commit a crime, I always get away scot-free, which is bad for my partner, because his name is Scott. Yes, so, I have a book on the paranormal. I didn't buy it, it just appeared in my house one day. I was reading a Where's Waldo book, and I was having a very tough time, so I ended up reading the Cliff Notes instead. I've never read a dictionary. I'm waiting for the film version of it to come out. Those who say, you know, 6 stones don't break my bones, the words will never hurt me, have not gotten a paper cut reading Braille. I went to a bookstore the other day, and I asked the man if you had this new book. I don't know its name, but it's on really small penises. And the guy said, I'm sorry, it's not in yet. And I said, yes, that's the name of the book. You have it? So, I have a book on how to be a good stand-up comedian, and as you can all tell, I haven't read it yet. People ask me how I come up with all these jokes. I eat a lot of popsicles. Although some people have accused me of stealing other people's jokes, and I have to say, as a proud, independent black woman, I'm upset. What's the deal with observational comedians? So, I've been itching to get a new tattoo. I've planning on getting one. It's of a rash. I also want to get tattooed onto me my favorite letter of the alphabet. And I know what you're all thinking. You're probably going, why? And yes, that is it. This is surprisingly hard for me because I'm colorblind. It's a very odd color blindness. I can only see black. The Rubik's Cube was actually invented as a teaching tool. It was designed how to teach people how to peel off stickers. I'll leave you guys with this one. I was recently at a show. It was a very interesting show. It was the Salem Witch Trials on Ice. It was very interesting, apart from the unintentional twist ending when all the witches drowned. Thank you very much.
So there was an exchange of money, roughly about 150 bucks. She's like, man, someone paid 150 bucks to have me dance. Is this what being attractive feels like? In my dream. So I went up and I got escorted. I got this little wristband. It was on my wrist. So I went there and we got to this bar type place. And I was still hearing very light dancing, and I was disappointed. It was like a bar. You can't really go dancing at a bar. Like I want to shake my groove thing. I want to bust a move. And while I was sitting there, I was waiting for, like, I'm going to get escorted to a place where I can go dancing. I'm waiting. They asked for my drink. I got a vodka tonic. Because the Mexican Garden made a joke. And said vodka tonic. That's the only drink I knew. Because I'm a teenager, and I never got to night parties. And we got there, and so I'm sitting there, waiting. I see all these business people in suits, and all these ladies in risque clothing. No idea what's going on. So I drink my drink. I have another drink. I have another drink. And I'm waiting, and I realize, I'm in a brothel. And that, my friends, is how you lose your virginity in style.
Oh, Chuck, this is educational, isn't it? It's educational. Hey, let's have a hand for your next stand-up, ladies and gentlemen. Ms. Valerie Partee, everybody!
Sarah here. I know why she stood over here. Yeah, my name is Valerie Partee. Some people call me Valerie Partee. It's French. I got a lot of names. I have another name, it is Valerie Cheery. Valerie means beautiful. Cheery is Swahili, and it means one with a lot of money. So beautiful, one with a lot of money. Now that brings me to my next subject, which is luck. I've been trying to do everything there is to do to get some luck. Now, I know that our new year is January 1st. And black people, we cook black eyed peas for luck, greens for money, and we throw a little cornbread and sweet. But I just recently learned that Chinese New Year was February 19th. So I said, they cook a little sweet bread, they have a little pasta and a little chicken, and they wear red. So I am wearing red for the next 30 days. Now, they didn't tell me how long they celebrate, but I figured since I celebrate my birthday for 30 days, why not? So I have my red hat on, my scarf, and I want to show you my nails. I have nails, but they're nails. Okay, but they're red. That's what's important, they're red. So I figure in these 30 days, if my outfit doesn't allow me to wear red, I'll just make sure that I have a lot of red underwear to wear. I was on my way to school Valentine's Day weekend, and it was snowing crazy. You all remember, I'm on 9094 East coming to school, and it was slippery and sliding, and I'm talking to people as though they hear me. You know, people can't hear you when you're in your car, and I'm saying, no, don't get on. Why are you getting on? It was though they were drinking after church, because they got on anyway. They couldn't hear me, and they were playing chicken. You know what chicken is? In and out. In and out, dodging the bullet, so to speak. In and out, and I said, oh no, let me get off of here. So I get off on California, and so I figure I just California my way all the way here. You know what California is. That's when you stop and you really don't stop. You stop and keep going. Yeah, so I made it though. I made it because California, every corner there was to cover. Now, I finally settled something with Best Buy because they had me 90 days as if I was a criminal. Every laptop I bought from them since July was impaired. Something was wrong with it. So finally I go to Geek Squad and I said, I'm calling CEO or somebody because you all are going to give me a laptop that works. I don't have time to keep coming up here. What do you think this is? You think this is my hobby or something? Come on now. That's it, folks.
Nice. I thought she was going to call the CIA on Geek Squad there for a second. Hey, let's keep it going, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 for 1 with everybody.
Thank you guys, thank you. First off, let's give it up for Nick, our teacher. I don't think I've ever had a wiser teacher that looks like a Muppet. I think I'm honored. It's great. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing all right? Good. I think I was the first one to ask that question. So, do you ever take a self-esteem test and find out that you suck at life? You ever do that? Just me? They ask me questions like, what do you do at a crowded party? Well, I've never been invited. What did you do the first time you broke up with someone? Well, they always break up with me. Do you think your parents are proud of you? If I ever meet them. I do have a mom, actually, and she's pretty crazy. When I was younger, about the age of 8 or 9, my mother was very protective of me. I thought it was because she loved me. Turns out we just didn't have medical. There's that. I wanted to get to know a little bit more about my family, so I went to go log on to Ancestry.com, but I accidentally spelled it Incestry.com. Turns out I learned a lot more about my family on that site than the other one. And I'm single. Anybody else single? Let's hear it. All right, couple people I'm going to offer to hit on here. I'm recently single. I got out of a pretty serious relationship. And I got to be honest with you guys, I was really into her. Like, I was obsessed with her. I think I loved this girl like a coke addict loves cocaine. I do because I thought about her all the time. She ran my life into debt. And just like cocaine, 25% of her came from Colombia. So that's a geography joke. I've never been good at talking to girls. I'm always bad with the words that I say. I was at a grocery store. She's like, I know, he hit on me earlier. I was at a grocery store the other day, and I saw this lady with this huge belly. Right? So I asked her the obvious question. You know, I said, how long have you been fat? And she said, no, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were fat. They know you were pregnant. Uncomfortable. People can be rude in public, can't they? Can't people be rude?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Someone's back. You ever open the door for a stranger, and halfway to the door, you realize that they don't deserve it anymore? So you slowly close the door back up, whatever inches away. I don't like when people cuss in public. It bothers me. I especially don't like it when people tell other people to go to HE double hockey stick. Right? So I just tell people to go to Walmart. Like, go to Walmart. I will see you and your children in Walmart. No, but if you think about it, Walmart and hell have a lot in common, right? But they have one main difference, and that is that hell is known as a fiery place, and if you ever walk into Walmart, nobody there is hot. Not at all. No. Is anybody from Michigan? Weird transition. Are you from Michigan? Yes. Wow, okay. Then you can agree with me. There is a town in Michigan called Hell. Yes, there's a town. Who wants to name their church there? What, First Baptist Church of Hell? I don't think so. I think funerals in hell gotta be interesting. Well, she's gotta be in heaven, because I don't see her walking around here. So, pretty crazy. All right, thank you guys so much. I'm Joe. Have a good night.
There's a place in Michigan called Climax, too. Make your own jokes, folks. Make your own jokes with that. I'm not going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, your last performer of the night, Mr. Mel Burns. Hey, so, I have to say, last week I actually signed the lease for an apartment, which is very good because I was new here, so it's really great. I'm pretty sure it's probably halfway to a halfway house, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. It's a studio, we'll see how it turns out, but it's better than being homeless. So, I realized that, I didn't want to be one of those homeless people on the red line, that you see all the time, that are like shaking with Aldi bags and talking to themselves. And I realized I'm really not about that life. Look at me, I'm just, nobody's going to give me change. Nobody's going to give me change. So, needless to say, so I decided, I'm not about that life, so I decided to try and find a roommate. I went on Craigslist, which is probably my first mistake. You know what a Craigslist roommate will get you nowadays? It'll get you a private bedroom, a shared bathroom with a shower tub combination, and a 12-inch black Mandingo dildo on your soap dish in the bathroom. Yeah, that's not cool at all. I walked in and I tried to turn on lights. I was like, what is going on? I can't see anything. There was a shadow over half the bathroom. It was a Sears tower of dildos. And, my roommate, I'm like, this is not cool at all. Why would you leave it in there? And then, I got a wave of horror over when I'm looking at it because I'm realizing why it's in the soap dish in the first place. And that means that it would, A, that it had been used, B, that had been cleaned, and it was sitting there to dry. This motherfucker is washing dildos like he does dishes in the bathroom. That's not cool. I don't see that in any Dawn commercials or anything that says, wash your dishes and your dildo. Don't say that. I'm surprised every time I don't see him, I don't see his intestines hanging out behind him. How you doing? Good morning. That's not cool at all. But, that shocked even me. Even being I guess what you would call a double gold star gay. Yes, not one but two. And I looked it up on Urban Dictionary because, that's the dictionary of our generation. If you're not on that shit, then you need to get on it. But apparently, one gold star means that you've never had sex with a woman. And look at me. I'm not going to walk by and your panties are going to get soaked when I, walk by somebody at, on the subway, whatever. But a double gold star gay is a gay who's not only not have sex with a woman, but was a C-section baby. So you never got any of this. Not at all. Never saw it. I tell people I did a U-turn on my mother's uterus. I said, I'm not going that way. No, ma'am. I'm going up. And one of the weirdest things, on the Urban Dictionary, the tagline, for the actual, it had a line, because, Urban Dictionary gives you the definition, and it gives you a sentence or something. And it said, a double ghost star gay is someone who's never came out and never came in. Yeah, that's pretty right. Is that not ridiculous? Who comes up with this shit? Why did they think, I typed in triple ghost star gay, but nothing came up. So I don't even know, maybe that's a new frontier. But with all these stars, I was like, I must be a gay general or something.
know, can you imagine like the recruiting log lines for that or taglines? You know, be all that you can be, bitch. We're looking for a few good men who have not slept with women. Oh gosh, I can't think of the other one. Oh gosh, but yes, you know, that's crazy. I can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine being with them. But anyway, besides that, I want to thank all of you for coming out. We thought it might be an empty room because nobody loves us. And just want to also thank Nick, our teacher, because you know.
Yay!
without you, so I'm handing over to Nick.
Feel free to. The price is right, and I imagine it's going to be equally as awesome, if not more so.